it. Because when it comes out of you, it's going to look foreign. It's going to look unknown. It's going to look strange. It's going to look weird. And if you don't know it, then somebody will mess around and say you don't deserve it. If you don't know it, then someone could convince you that there's no space for it. But when you know that you know that you know, it doesn't matter what happens. It may be unknown to you, but it is known to me. It may be unknown to you that I will be up here, but it is known to me because God placed a knowing down in my spirit. Everyone else was in kindergarten that baby was going to make it to the other side. Everyone else can be surprised that I made it to the other side with my mind, but I'm not surprised because God gave me a knowing. God told me I'm going to call you into the unknown, and it's going to look weird to everyone on the outside looking in, but it's not going to be weird to you because you're going to have a deposit of what is known about you. I hear God saying, I'm not surprised that came out. Everybody else was surprised. But God, John, Zacharias, and Elizabeth were not surprised because they had been in the secret place. They had learned to get still enough with the word that God gave them that even though it shocked everyone else, it was right on schedule for them. They didn't know that God had already named this child before the child took his first breath. That God had already named that business before you had the first employee. That God had already named that house before you even applied for the loan. That God had already named that deal before they even came up to you and presented it to you. And everyone else could be surprised, but I knew it was coming. I know we don't like to preach about prideful messages, and this isn't about pride. This is about a knowing. I hear God saying, let it catch everyone else by surprise, but you stand by and you see the salvation of the Lord because I knew it was coming. I knew you were going to do it. I knew it was going to come through. I knew you were going to release me. I knew you had a place for me. I know better than to believe that my last days are going to be worse than my former days. I know better than to believe that this evil is going to have the last say. I know better than to believe that though he slay me, I can't trust him. I know better. I know better. I know better. I know better. I know better than you leave me. I know better than depression will have the final say. I know better than I will lose my mind. I may be down, but I'm not lost because I know he'll come find me. I know he'll keep me. I know he'll make a way out of nothing. I know.
Hallelujah.
I know it.
I know
better.
I know better.
I know better. I know better. I know better. I know better. I went through hell, but I know better. I went through hell, but I know better. I had to fall off the grid, but I know better. I was silent, but I know better. I've been crying, but I know better. I'm glad you did it because I know better. 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 When I know better, I move better. And when I move better, I say, hell, oh, notice. It's me. I know better.
I know better.
I know better.
Hey, I woke up so happy. Can't even tell you
I know
what's going
better.
on right now. I just got,
I know better.
yeah, I know better not to say anything right now. Wow.
This is Zacharias' moment
Yeah,
to release what he knows
yeah,
into the earth. And I have a prophetic declaration
yeah.
for
What?
somebody in this room
What you got, Sarah J?
that it's
What you
time
got?
for you to take what you know and release it into the earth.
Amen.
It's time for you to take what you know and let it confuse some people who didn't know. I know better than you know. It's okay. It's time for you to take what you know and start releasing it into that marriage. It's time for you to take what you know and start releasing it into that business. It's time for you to take what you know and start releasing it into that church. It's time for you to take what you know and start releasing it into that music. Release it into a movie. I know better than to believe that the wealth of the wicked is just going to stay stored up. I know better. I know better. I know better. The business collapsed, but I know better. They walked away from me, but I know better. I know I should be out of my mind. I see you waving, baby, but I know better.
Yo. Yeah, I'm doing it.
Yes, please.
inform you what's really going on, shorty.
Okay. I know better.
What? Y'all vegan. Y'all don't think I know better?
So,
Y'all don't think I got a
all right,
house?
we're going home.
Y'all don't think?
We're going to brunch. I'm
Let
going to
me
just
know
say
what you
this.
think. Because I know better.
When Zacharias
What?
finally releases what he knows,
Yeah, what's up? What's up? Talk to me.
my text tells me, oh God, I feel you. That when he released what he knew,
Yeah.
that this boy named is John. And they marveled at this. And fear came on them because he was doing something unknown with his knowing. He was doing something unknown to them, but it was known to him. It says immediately his mouth was open and his tongue loosed. And he spoke, praising God. This is my final point. There was something that happened to his praise when he released what he knew that allowed him to begin praising God. And I am crazy enough to believe that he wasn't just praising God that his tongue was loose. I believe he was praising God because God took a word and turned it into a knowing, and he had enough fuel in the tank to help him raise a child who would go on to be the forerunner of Jesus Christ. You got enough knowing for generations to walk through what you're going through. You got enough knowing to pave a road for someone coming up behind you. You got enough knowing. I want you to know that you went through hell, but God says, I know you went through hell. That's why I know that you want to pave a road. I know that you want to carry breakthrough. I know that demons tremble when you wake up in the morning. I know that I know that I know.
I know that I know. I know.
I know.
I know.
There's a praise
Praise.
that can only be released. You gotta praise when you want.
Hello.
When you kind of believe. But there is a praise that is released when you know that I've never seen a righteous forsaken and their seed begging for bread. I know it. God, I know it. God, I know you're better to me than I deserve. I know you're faithful. I know you're righteous. I know you're a healer. I know you still do miracles.